also going to meet a new principal. First, let me tell you, this is our first of the year outstanding student. Can you hear me? Yeah. First of the year outstanding student awards, and each student is going to get a wonderful plaque saying that they're a student of the month for our club. They're going to get a public speaking book by Barbara, for public speaking for young adults. They're going to get a certificate for a Carl's Jr. bacon cheeseburger.
This club, many times in the past, has actually spoken at our regular Rotary Foundation meeting. He's a member of the Oakland Sunrise Rotary Club. He was a charter secretary of that club and its third president. Brad has received many honors from the Rotary International and from the Rotary Foundation. For those of you who think that a past district governor gets to retire after serving a term as governor, let me tell you what Brad's current Rotary assignments are. As a past District 5170 governor, Brad is a member of the Governor's 2012-2013 Advisory Committee. He's the organizer and chair of the West Africa Project Fair. He was actually one of the founders. He's a member of the Future Vision Steering Committee, the Zone 26 Polio Challenge Coordinator, and serving his second year of a 3-year term currently as Rotary International's North America Membership Chair. This didn't seem enough to keep Brad busy, so in addition to all of this, he runs Howard Tours, which is a travel organization based in Oakland, which he also owns. This is a premier tour company for dedicated, customized group travel with professional and charitable associations, including Rotary. He's led 16 trips to Ghana, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Senegal, and India to participate in the Polio National Immunization Days. Any of you want to know about how to go on one of these trips, this is the person to talk to. He's also led other trips to places like Vietnam, China, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Chile, Costa Rica, South Africa to participate in matching grant projects. It's a bit amazing to me that Brad finds the time to come to Livermore to talk to us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our distinguished speaker for today, past District Governor Brad Howard.
Somewhere in all of that, when I heard him doing that, I started to think, man, I got to do something else with my life.
Become an actor.
Yeah, become an actor. Actually, that's how I started, but well, that's a whole different story. We'll go there. Thing I love is I come all the way to Livermore, and said hi to Phil, come in, quickly grab something to eat, and the very first person I say hello to, have a conversation with, I can tell that his accent's not from here, and I'm pretty sure I know what country he's from. And I said, where are you from? And he said, well, Nigeria. And I said, where in Nigeria? I said, where? And he said, well, West Africa. I said, no, we're in Nigeria. It was Lagos. I said, I know. I was just there on Tuesday. I'm telling you, you under no circumstance can complain about traffic at any time in your lives until you go to Lagos, Nigeria. It was a remarkable experience, and I don't know that it's for everyone, but it teaches you an awful lot about the challenges in this world and what we're facing. That was my third trip to Nigeria, and frankly, I'm still learning and appreciating for what they do. The Rotarians there are extraordinary. To the students who gave an expression of themselves, you impress me immensely. I thought my life and my challenges were tough, but what you have done to persevere and be recognized should start here, not end here. And at least from one person, you're impressive, and I look forward to hearing what you will do with your lives. Alberto, I can save you a lot of time. I know you're going to interact with a lot of our Rotarians, so why don't you just start showing up here Wednesday? It's much more efficient. You can meet them all at once. I've had a chance to come here and speak to you about the foundation. The foundation's one of the things that I care about, not so much because of what I give, although I do give, but because of what it means to me as an individual. And when I was asked to come here, well, let's craft it about the foundation, but as you can see, I'm kind of involved with membership, and a lot of my thinking, a lot of my engagement with Rotary right now is to understand membership. And so I'm going to attempt to try and blend the two of those together for you. And given that this clock says it's only 5 minutes after 12, I have a whole lot of time to talk.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. I'll pull out the other clock to make sure I at least get you out of here on time. But why are you here? What brought you to Rotary? Why are you sitting in these seats? And more importantly, why do you sit here every week? You with a new red badge, a clear red badge on your chest, you're just engaging in the process, and there's another individual that was just introduced as the last time they will be a guest. So what do you think you're getting into? At least. And perhaps more. Having been a governor and having had a chance to interact with a lot of Rotarians, I've come to one conclusion, that there's one reason why most people believe they joined the organization, and yet after working as a governor and being a part of Rotary for a while and continuing to look at Rotary throughout the world, I've come to the conclusion that service is not the reason most of us join this organization, nor is it the reason that most of us stay engaged. And I did say that right. I didn't make a mistake. I don't know everyone in this room, and I know quite a few of you, so obviously I can't speak for you individually. You are joining or have joined this organization or are involved for your own personal reasons. But I'm going to ask you to bear with me for a little bit here, because I'm absolutely sure if you will, you'll come to recognize the reason that you remain in Rotary is not primarily because of service. I know that our motto is service above self. We say it frequently, we believe in it deeply. There are recognitions for those people who have dedicated themselves to helping others. We take our time, our resources, and try to help others who have needs. And behind this organization, we've really crafted a remarkable organization, operation, if you will. We had the audacity, and I use that word appropriately, the audacity to believe that we, as a volunteer organization, in our spare time, could eradicate a disease, only the second one off the face of the earth. From that infamous 350,000 new cases in 1987 and 88, to what is currently, right now, for the entire year of 2012, only 171 cases in 4 countries. It is down 65% versus year ago. Our most challenging country remains to be Nigeria, and there's many reasons that are being addressed. But I can honestly say to you, as a person who has been involved with polio quite literally since I was a president, and been through many iterations of raising money, had obviously gone on a number of immunization trips, I can say I and many other people in our organization had our doubts that we would ever truly achieve our objective. But in my heart, in my soul, I know that we will eradicate this disease, and I suspect the last case will be sometime next year. We'll still need 3 years beyond that to be certified as polio-free, but we are literally on the threshold of eradicating only the second disease ever. And it wasn't someone else's idea. Our clubs, our Rotarians, our organization defined this project and brought in partners. And here we are about to eradicate a disease. We fund peace. You saw a shining example of that last week with somebody standing here telling you what you did for them to give them the ability to broker a peace deal in the Philippines. Through your contributions to the foundation, every person in this room that has given to the Rotary Foundation can say that you were a part of brokering peace, as eloquently stated by Jackie. We create projects in our community to make it a better place. We work with the youth in our community to help them recognize their opportunities for growth and for their opportunities for doing things the right way, according to values that we believe are important. We teach. We house the homeless. We feed the hungry. We do remarkable things. And you would think that for all that we do, for all that we are, that every Wednesday when you open that door, there would be people out there saying, "Can I join you? I'd like to be a part of Rotary." In fact, by my observation, the only line that forms at the door of Rotary clubs tend to be inside, trying to get out, as we tend to lose our members. If you think that that is perhaps overstating, let me give you an example. Over the past 7 years, well, I can say this, over the past 10 years, our organization has been at 1.2 million Rotarians. You probably know that number well. Over the past 7 years, how many new members have we brought into our organization? About 1.2 million new members. In essence, we've lost ourselves in a 7-year period. That's 14% attrition, on average, out of our organization. We bring in people into our organization, but we have a hard time keeping them. Why? Well, perhaps our food. My club, not necessarily here. Or the cost, or the time it takes, or this notion that maybe there are other issues in my life that are more important. You see, I think one of the reasons we're challenged at keeping members, and also challenged at bringing new members into our organizations, we are so focused on one aspect of who we are that we've lost touch with how we became. And really, what is Rotary? The essence of what our organization is. Let me first ask a question to probe this a little bit further. Who are our customers? Whom does Rotary serve first? Is it the beneficiaries of our work? Is it the 2 billion children that we've immunized? Or perhaps it's the students in your community? Or those that you haven't seen or ever met through the Rotary Foundation? I hope in your head right now you're saying, no, I don't think that's who our customers are. Our customers are you, the people sitting in this room. You are the ones that actually annually have to decide if you're going to stay with us or not. And if you don't stay with us, we don't immunize kids for polio. We don't eradicate a disease. There isn't a single project that can happen without you, our customers. If you're challenged by that, let's probe it further. If you're our customers, who's our competition? Gowanus? Lions? Really? I mean, seriously, how many times have you ever talked to somebody about joining Rotary and they went, well, you know, I was kind of debating between you and Lions. I've never had that happen in my 27 years of membership. The first thing that you do when you ask somebody, hey, why don't you come to Wednesday meeting, you know, check out Rotary, you might be interested. The first thing they talk about is their career, their family, financial challenges, the time it takes, life. Our competition isn't someone else. It isn't another organization that's in the service area. It's life. And until we start to compete against life, I think we're going to be constantly challenged. Richard D. King used to say we're the greatest nonprofit, non-governmental, non-religious organization in the history of mankind, and yet we have a tough time keeping our own members, people that have come in, people that have made statements like Stacy saying, I want to come in to help other people. Well, why? You see, I think what we're missing completely here is understanding what we're receiving out of Rotary and recognizing it and actually embracing it. If Ralph stood up here at the lectern and said at the end of the meeting, for everybody who comes through that door next week, I'm going to give you $100. Do you think you'd have a pretty good showing next week? Probably see a few members you haven't seen for a while, too. You know that happens, you know, when they do the marble draw and the pot gets pretty deep, right? Everybody starts showing up. If you did it another week, some of those members would start telling friends, hey, come to Rotary, you can get $100. Right? You could probably pull that off a club this size maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4 before you decided you had no more money left. And yet, who amongst you thinks that you're not receiving at least $100 a week for your membership? Who of you really, and I'm going to look around, I know a number of you, and I know that you're getting more out of this than that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here through thick and thin, through times where other issues are going on in your life, and you realize, boy, it's really tough to make this thing work. You see, we need to be able to express what we're receiving. This used to be taboo when I certainly came into Rotary, but more and more it is the essence of who we are. It's the reason that we organized ourselves. Paul Harris put us together. He didn't start off saying we're going to change the world. He said, I just want to change my field of view and get others to join me. See, there's 3 things that I think our organization does that is unique, that no one else can offer, with values that we already have, and that will make us stand up against the competition. Like the 3 areas: personal development, professional development, and that which you can give to your family. You see, I think that through Rotary, you can become a better person. Stacy said those words almost verbatim when she came up here. By the people I have come to know in Rotary, I have become a better person in many ways. The values, their wisdom, and the experiences that I've had, whether it be in Lagos, in Livermore, or in Oakland. We take people and give them a chance to do expressions that no one else does. And our greatest tool, in my opinion, is the Rotary Foundation. Here is this wonderful, beautiful, elegant thing that sits there. You contribute into it. Some of you are invested into it. And yet we only seem to view it as some place you put your money. For me, when I think of the Rotary Foundation, I think of my 16 trips to Africa and the people that I have seen whose lives have been changed. And every single time I get over there, I think, how did I ever wind up here? I'm a business person. I'm not a humanitarian. I didn't join this organization to become a humanitarian. I joined this organization because my father insisted I had to join. And if any of you knew my dad, you'd know I had to join. It certainly saved me a lot of time. Again, Alberto, I'm trying to help you. And through this, I've had extraordinary opportunities. The Rotary Foundation is one of the few opportunities that you as an individual, as a donor, get to decide where your money is spent. You have a chance to do something with it. You get to leverage other people's money, mine, other clubs, other districts. And if you get an idea that you want to pursue, not only do we give you funding sources through the Rotary Foundation, we give you expertise. You want to do a water project in Guatemala? There's a water and sanitation action group, Rotary Action Group, that will lend you expertise. You can get on the phone to Evanston. There are staff that will help you refine that, so that when you hit the ground, even though you just may be a business person, have no experience in water and sanitation, you can be effective. And when you land there, you have Rotarians overseas that bring you in, that help you, that makes it effective, that shows the transparency of our investment. You see, I think for us, the Rotary Foundation is a tool to enable any of our members to become and grow into being a humanitarian. It's one of the best benefits that I have of my membership. I didn't join to be a humanitarian. I joined for other reasons. And yet this organization has allowed me, and if it allows me, it allows every single one of you, the ability for greater expression in this world. You've heard many, many people speak about how wonderful it is to help other people and how remarkable it is. It's not what you earn, it's what you give. We have a structure that will help you do that. And the beauty, you get to keep your day job. You get to keep doing what you do. Personal growth. I could go on in a long list of those things that I have experienced through personal growth, but I think you get my point. The Rotary Foundation isn't something that you should just focus on as I have to do. It is something you get to do. And when Phil stands up and mentions the Rotary Foundation, don't just grab your wallet, grab your imagination. There's a world of opportunity out there, and particularly for those of us that are still in the midst of our careers. The second area that I feel very strongly Rotary delivers is personal development. Is professional development. I just did personal development. Professional development. Now we all go, oh, well, networking. Oh, heck no. Networking is the least of the elements of professional development that I'm talking about. We, as part of our structure, provide an opportunity for the people of the Stacys of the world, forgive me for continually picking on you, but the younger people, to put them in the middle of this group and to give them an opportunity to grow in their business. Now, a lot of people say, well, this isn't a networking organization. I don't like to do it that way. I had one person express it this way. I didn't join Rotary to sell. I joined Rotary to buy. I get my lawyer, my accountant, all of my professions that I want. Why? Because I know what these people are like. I was attending a conference, a membership conference over in Santa Rosa, and I heard a young woman speak. She was 25 years old and a Rotarian. And somebody said, so why are you in Rotary? And she said, one of the greatest reasons is that every week I get to sit next to people that otherwise I would have to spend $250 an hour. Looking around this room, there are a lot of you here. Seriously. Stacy doesn't want to come here and get your business. She wants to come here and get your wisdom. In some ways, she might want to get your Rolodex. But in all ways, people who are young in your community are looking for you in this context. This is what you can offer immediately. You also offer relationships, the friendships. But more importantly, we teach people how to do business and in a certain way. Not only that, we teach public speaking. We teach project management, fundraising. The skill sets that we provide as being a Rotarian are valuable to those people in that age group. And finally, it's the opportunity for family. For me, it's the reason I'm here, and I have many stories to tell that I won't take the time right now. But in essence, my children are both different because of my engagement in Rotary. I used to think that my time in Rotary took away from their lives. Both of my kids are on a different path as a result of seeing what you do, what we do. So anybody that you encounter in your community that says, well, I can't come into Rotary because right now I have 2 kids and life's just too busy, those are the people you need to talk to and say, let me talk to you about Youth Exchange, about Interact, about Rotaract. Interactors are a huge program in our district. Why? Because these kids recognize being a part of Interact is going to differentiate them when they do their college applications. That will help them stand alone. We can offer that to our own members. I'll end this with a story that I once heard about how the land was settled, the land grants were settled in the center of Australia in the 1800s, because I think it draws a parallel to what our philosophy in Rotary should be with you, our customers. In the 1800s, when they needed to settle this large open area, Australia decided to bring in immigrants from Europe to settle the land, to farm the land, to raise cattle. And they came with their typical techniques. They came, built fences around the land, and raised livestock. But some of these tracts were way too large for that. Some of them as large as 12,000 square miles. You just can't fence 12,000 square miles. So they had to figure out what to do with all the cattle so they wouldn't lose them. And the answer became pretty simple. What they do is right in the middle of the property, they dig a well. And around the well, they'd provide the feed. And once they did that, they could forget about the fences. Strikes me that's a metaphor for our organization. Our organization needs to forget about the fences. It's not about attendance. It's about how deep this well is and how much we talk to our members about the sustenance we provide. What is it that you get out of our organization that you can't buy anywhere else? That will help you personally, will help you develop into a better business person or professional, and will help change your family. Rotary is an extraordinary position to grow, to change those numbers. But honestly, if we only are a service organization, we're underselling who we are, because we're so much more. Clubs like yours, and I mean this most sincerely, you are a pilot club for membership. This club, in many ways, leads what we think and do in this district. Start looking at your customers first. Start addressing their needs. You won't worry about the fences anymore. You'll start focusing on the well. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. I know both, and I like that a lot. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.